The Christmas season is upon us, and that means a slew of new streaming holiday movies. The one with the most buzz this year is Hot Frosty on Netflix, so let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my Christmas movie review for Hot Frosty. This is streaming on Netflix right now, and a lot of people have been talking about this movie this year. If you're unfamiliar, the basic storyline is a snowman comes to life, and Lacey Chabert falls for it. So that's kind of the tagline. We'll get into a little more specifics in just a moment. But first, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are one of my Dan Reviews It subscribers already, thank you so much for that. Love having you guys return. But if you're not, please consider subscribing. Click that notification bell down below so you can get the alerts for all my new video drops. I do try to post something new just about every day. But you can just like this video, comment below as well. All that stuff helps the channel out. And I think the comments could be interesting on this. Did you see Hot Frosty? It's obviously been talked about a good bit. It was #1 on Netflix's chart for a couple of weeks. So Lacey Chabert, one of the queens of these Christmas movies. She's done a lot of the Hallmark ones. I believe this is her first Netflix movie. I could be wrong on that. But of course, we watched her grow up in Party of Five and then, Mean Girls a little older. And she's one of these people who is just, a stunningly beautiful woman that we all recognize. And so let's put her in a lot of these holiday movies. And, Danica McKellar from The Wonder Years is another one. Candace Cameron from Full House, she's done a lot of them. So this one goes a little bit more into the fantasy realm than most. I mean, yes, most of these Christmas movies on Hallmark and Lifetime are pretty fantastical already, right? Just with more down-to-earth things. But this straight up is a fantasy film. So Lacey Chabert, plays this widow named Kathy who is obsessed with her work. Where have we heard this before? A lot of Hallmark movies. But she gets this scarf gifted to her, and as she's sort of touring the town square of these snow sculptures, she puts the scarf on one of them, and he ends up coming to life, and he is played by Dustin Milligan from the Schitt's Creek. He was Alexis's boyfriend. And a lot of people here you may recognize, Katie Mixon from American Housewife. There's some comic relief from Craig Robinson and Joe Latruglio, both of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Craig Robinson, more famously from The Office, but they were both part of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And so they're playing cops here as well. And that sort of is a recurring theme with this movie, sort of a knowing wink to the audience. Okay, these guys were both cops on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Let's throw them together as cops in this. Lacey Chabert, she's always playing, the workaholic. Don't have time for a man. I'm too focused on my career, so let's give her that trope. So this movie is knowingly enough, like it's interesting because it still serves as a basic Hallmark Christmas movie. I know it's Netflix, but Hallmark sort of set the standard, right, for those Christmas movies. And so this definitely is one of those movies, but it also knowingly leans into some of those tropes and has a little more fun with it, I think, than a lot of these types of movies do. And this guy comes to life. He's super hot. He's chiseled. And all of a sudden, everybody in the town is just falling in love with him, even if they don't quite understand, where he came from, what he's all about. And look, there's you gotta really suspend disbelief even more than usual for this one, because he knows basically nothing, as a newborn snowman, but he is a quick learner and he watches, a couple afternoons of TV, and all of a sudden he knows how to do everything. And the things he knows and doesn't know are just kind of random, whatever the story needs, whatever the plot needs. But then the cops are kind of looking for him in some senses, because when he first came to life, he was naked. And so, they're trying to get him on these flashing charges. And also, he ended up, robbing this store to get some clothes. So he broke the glass. And so they're looking for, that person. So Lacey Chabert's got to keep him under wraps, but she can't, because he's, the new town favorite and all of this. So look, as it goes along, it's a bit predictable. But here's what I really liked about it. It does kind of subvert the genre a little bit in the respect that the plot really becomes less about him as a romantic character and him as sort of I don't know, like a town hero, somebody that we are looking up to because he's got such a good heart. It ends up sort of being a Frank Capra-esque kind of take on a Hallmark Christmas movie. And it's interesting in that regard because I didn't expect that. I expected it to be this, love story really focused on the romance. And honestly, it's not. That part is there for sure. But it definitely kind of elevates from there a good bit. In fact, I mean, I can't say I cried over it, but I got a little choked up by the end of this movie, to my surprise. It really worked as more than just a romantic Christmas movie. There are definitely some life themes here that are, positive. And I was definitely surprised by that. And the performances are fun. They're a bit cheeky, for sure. I wish that Craig Robinson and Joe Latruglio were a little funnier, like we know they can be. It seems like maybe some of their lines were improvised. Joe Latruglio, not just from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but he goes back to the Reno 911 days, which was a largely unscripted show. So, he's definitely no stranger to the improvisation. I sort of wish maybe we had a little more time with them, kind of riffing, because their scenes, they were okay, but I've come to expect maybe some additional humor from those actors. So I would have liked to have that, be a little bit more of a funny, side character kind of piece. But look, of all four of the Christmas movies that I watched for this season, and I'm going to review at least all the streaming ones, this is the best. Believe it or not. I actually by the end really was like, okay, I see why people are into this movie. It definitely does more than just your typical Hallmark type Christmas movie. I leave Hot Frosty with a B minus, and you can check this out now streaming on. I almost said on Hallmark on Netflix, of course, as I've been saying. But all right, thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It, and I'll see you next time.